Chapter 4. Exploring Magnets. Magnets. The story of discovery of magnets dates back to around 4,000 years ago. A shepherd named Magnus lived in a place called Magnesia in northern Greece. One day, he was herding his sheep and goats in the nearby mountains. He was standing over a large, black rock. The metal tip of his stick and the nails in his shoes got stuck to the rock. In order to free his shoes and stick from the rock, he had to pull hard. The rock was a natural magnet that attracted the metals in his shoes and stick. Such rocks, which had magnetic properties, were named magnetite by the Greeks after Magnus. These rocks were useful in finding directions. This is because when a long piece of this rock was suspended freely, it came to rest in the north-south direction. Therefore, people started calling it lodestone, meaning the leading stone. Later on, artificial magnets were made from iron. Artificial magnets come in different shapes such as rectangular bar, cylindrical bar, U-shaped, horseshoe-shaped and dumbbell-shaped magnets. Magnetic and non-magnetic materials. All materials that are attracted by a magnet are called magnetic materials. Iron, nickel, cobalt and their alloys and substances made up of these materials are examples of magnetic materials. Materials that are not attracted by a magnet are called non-magnetic materials. Paper, wood, concrete, brass, aluminium, plastic, glass, etc. are examples of non-magnetic materials. Poles of a magnet. If iron filings are brought close to a bar magnet, most of the filings cling to the two ends of the magnet, whereas very few cling to the central part. This indicates that the ends of a magnet have a stronger force of attraction than the other parts of the magnet. The two ends of the magnet which have strong magnetic force are called the poles of the magnet. A freely suspended magnet always aligns itself in geographical north-south direction. The names of a magnet's poles are assigned accordingly. The tip of the magnet that points to the geographical north is called its north pole or north-seeking pole, while the tip of the magnet that points towards the geographical south is called its south pole or south-seeking pole. Irrespective of the shape of a magnet, every magnet has two poles. These poles are remarked on a magnet by printing N, north, and S, south, on its tips. The property of a magnet to always point towards north and south has been used to find the geographical direction. In older times, sailors used this property of magnets to find the direction while on the sea. Later, the magnetic compass was developed and was used for finding the direction. Attraction and repulsion of magnets. Attraction and repulsion of the magnetic poles is one of the notable and widely known properties of a magnet. When two like poles, north-north, south-south, are brought together, you will observe that they show repulsion, whereas when unlike poles, north-south, south-north, are brought together, they show attraction. Effect of bar magnet on reading of magnetic compass. Let us perform an exciting activity using a magnetic compass and a bar magnet to acquire a better understanding of attraction and repulsion between magnets. Passing of magnetic effect through non-magnetic materials. We have learned that compass needle deflects when a magnet is brought near it. Let us learn more by adding some additional elements to the previous activity. Repeat the process in the above activity by replacing the wooden block with a paper or with a plastic sheet. We will notice that there is no significant change in the deflection of the compass needle when a paper or plastic sheet is placed between the magnet and the compass. This indicates that magnetic effect can penetrate non-magnetic materials and act through them. Magnetic poles always exist in pairs. If a bar magnet is broken into two pieces, each piece behaves as a complete magnet. New poles are formed at the broken ends. If these poles are broken further, each smaller piece still behaves as a whole magnet with two opposite poles. Thus, the poles of a magnet can never be separated. That is why magnets are also called dipole. Making artificial magnets. Magnets can be made from magnetic substances. Such substance can be easily converted into a magnet by physical methods such as the single touch method and double touch method. Sometimes, electric current is also used to make magnets. The process of making a magnetic substance into a magnet is known as magnetization. The magnets may either be temporary or permanent in nature. Temporary magnets are those artificial magnets that lose their magnetism as soon as the cause that produces the magnetism is removed. Iron, nickel, or cobalt are used to make temporary magnets. Permanent magnets are those artificial magnets that retain their magnetism even after the removal of the cause of its magnetism. Mixtures of iron, nickel, or cobalt along with other substances are used to make permanent magnets. Single touch method. In this method, we use a bar magnet to make a permanent magnetic material. Let's learn this method with the help of given activity. Double touch method. In this method, we use two bar magnets of equal strength to make a permanent magnet from a magnetic material. For example, an iron bar. We place the iron bar on a non-magnetic material. Place the opposite poles of the two bar magnets at the center of the iron bar. Now, slowly drag the two bar magnets along the iron bar in opposite directions until reaching its end. Lift the magnets and move them through air back to the center of the iron bar again. Repeat this process several times. When the iron bar has been magnetized, the end A will become magnetic north pole and the end B will become magnetic south pole. Nowadays, magnets are made with the help of electric currents. They can be used to make permanent magnets as well as temporary magnets. Electromagnet is an example of a temporary magnet, which is made with the help of electricity. Earth as a giant magnet. We have learned that a freely suspended bar magnet always aligns along the geographical north-south direction. The north pole of the magnet points towards the north direction and the south pole towards the south. Why does this happen? Recall that unlike poles of two magnets attract each other. This would let us assume that there must be another magnet with its north and south poles in the opposite direction of the freely suspended magnet. With no other visible magnet, it is easier to assume that the Earth itself behaves like a giant bar magnet buried inside it. The magnetic north pole of the Earth is located near the geographic south pole and the magnetic south pole is located near the geographic north pole. The magnetism of the Earth is probably due to the movement of molten iron at the Earth's core. Magnetic compass. A Chinese emperor named Huang Ti had a chariot with a statue of a lady who had an extended arm. The statue could be rotated in any direction. On coming to rest, its extended arm would always point towards the south direction. The emperor used this statue to locate directions whenever he went out on his chariot to explore new places. Later, a device called magnetic compass was developed to help travelers find directions. It consists of a magnetized needle pivoted inside a small box with a glass cover. Inside the glass cover is a dial with directions marked on it. When the needle comes to rest, it indicates the north-south direction. The needle's north pole is always painted in a red color for easy identification. To find the directions using a magnetic compass, hold it in a stable position. The compass needle comes to rest in the north-south direction. Rotate the compass until the north direction marked on its dial aligns with the red painted end or the north pole of the needle. The other directions can then be read on the compass with respect to the north pole. Making a magnetic compass. To make a magnetic compass, magnetize an iron needle using a bar magnet. Now, insert the magnetized needle into a small piece of cork. Add water to a cup or a ball and place the cork in it. The cork starts floating in water. Ensure that the needle does not touch the water. The compass is ready to work. Note the direction in which the needle points when the cork is floating. Rotate the cork in different directions. Once the cork has stopped rotating, note the direction in which the needle points. You will notice that the iron needle always points in the same direction. This direction is the north-south direction. Keeping magnets safe. When magnets are heated, hammered, dropped from a height, or not stored properly, they can lose their magnetic properties. We can take the following precautions to keep magnets safe. Why we should not heat, hammer or drop a magnet from a height. We should keep bar magnets in pairs with opposite poles on the same side. A piece of wood must be kept in between the magnets as shown in the figure given alongside. For keeping a horseshoe-shaped magnet safe, we should keep a piece of iron across its poles. This iron piece is called a magnetic keeper. Electronic devices like television, music system, loudspeakers and computer printers may get damaged if exposed to a magnet. We must, therefore, keep magnets away from these devices. Uses of magnets. Magnets have many uses in addition to finding directions. Some uses of magnets are as follows. Refrigerator doors are fitted with magnets to keep them closed. The magnetic strip of ATM cards and credit cards stores information. Speakers, headphones and microphones also have magnets. Electric motors of fans, coolers, and automobiles also have magnets for generating power. Iron materials are picked up in a junkyard with the help of magnets. Magnets are often used for separating magnetic impurities from a given material. Magnets are also employed in children's toys. Magnetic levitation train works on the principle of magnetic field and can run at a speed of up to 500 km per hour. Magnetic compass is used to find directions, as it aligns to geographic north and south. These are generally used by sailors on ship.